Look at this story. It's from timcast.com. Maryland Department of Education will require pre-K students to learn about gender, identity, and expression. The state's health curriculum aims to examine how racism impacts sexual identity by middle school. I want to break this one down.
Wait, how racism impacts
yeah.
gender identity by middle school?
But so hold on.
Okay.
I got a bone to pick with this here timcast.com.
Is it a 4-foot long bone?
Will require? When you actually pull up the document, it actually has on it pre-kindergarten through high school, 1st July 2020 to June 2021. It sounds like they're already doing it. And now I have questions about the website, but the website is linked through the maryland.gov portal. So this is coming out of Maryland's public school website, this document talking about pre-kindergarten through high school and what they're going to be teaching these kids. I don't think that it's planned opposition to what's happening in Florida. I think what Florida is in effective opposition to what they've already been doing.
Yeah,
and it was already happening in Florida too.
And this is, by the way, talking about the history of things. I mean, comprehensive sex education. That started with Alfred Kinsey, who's another pedophile, and expressly wanted to sexualize children, believed that children are sexual literally from birth, and there's a whole story there. It's totally horrifying. But comprehensive sex education goes back to him. It starts there, and so it is from the beginning an effort to sexualize children, to sexualize them, also kind of based in this kind of circular way on the idea that children are already sexual from birth. And the thing about that's so insidious, because we see that, they're teaching this stuff to preschoolers. We find it so shocking. And it is, I mean, it's horrifying, but it's actually not surprising because, well, of course they want to get to the kids that young, because when you're 4 years old, I mean, these are the kids who believe, in Santa Claus. They think that Spider-Man is real. So at that age, psychologically, they cannot distinguish. They actually cannot distinguish between reality and fantasy. If you go to a 4-year-old and you say to the 4-year-old, Superman doesn't exist, they won't even know what you mean by that. It doesn't mean anything. Doesn't exist. Right. What do you mean? I can see him on TV. I know he exists. And so that's the left's ideas especially about gender, are so ridiculous and insane that they have to get to the kids that young, at an age where they don't have the mental capacity to see it for the absurdity that it is. Well, and if you can indoctrinate them that young, then you get them, potentially for life.
What's funny to me is that's what I was told growing up about Christianity. Was that the church tries to get the kids so that they grow up indoctrinated in the church and dogma and things like that. And now I got to say, it is fascinating to see that when it comes to critical race theory, gender ideology, and the general woke cult, it seems that they're doing a lot of what the left claimed the right did a long time ago. Like they're arguing the other side does it, but they're doing it.
And the difference is, so yeah, you hear that argument about that's what religions do. And the left makes that argument. It's actually interesting because what they're essentially admitting is that gender ideology is a religion. And so that part I agree with them. At least we have it in the right category. It's actually a religious point of view. But the difference is that with Christianity, you can ask really difficult questions. And in fact, for most Christians who are informed, like, they want to have that conversation. Let's talk about it. Why do I believe in the Bible? Why do I believe in God? Let's have the conversation. It's great. With gender ideology, though, and this is why they have to get to the kids very young, it collapses under the slightest scrutiny. They cannot answer any questions about it. Ask them to define their terms. They can't do it, and so that's why.
That's why they resort to insults instead.